The love of Andrew Tate's life just wrote him a letter and he reads it out loud on video. And today we're going to dissect it because it carries a lot of philosophical freight. We're also going to talk about how this interacts with his religion, with Islam, and who is this lady in the first place. So let's get started. My name is Aaron. I do reactions to anything culture. Thanks for joining me. So here we go. Here's Andrew Tate reading this letter.
My love, I want you to know that I see the truth of your destiny. You were never put on this earth to follow the ideals of lesser men. You are the greatest man I have ever known, and the world is more blessed to have you in it.
Okay, so obviously big fan, right? So not abused, not trafficked, big fan.
The fact you exist means there's still hope for us. You're the last real-life hero we have on earth, the top G. Without strong men like you, women will have no real protectors, and a man such as yourself should not adhere to the basic constraints of society.
Okay, so she says that a man such as yourself should not adhere to the basic constraints of society. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Does that mean basic rules? Does that mean basic norms and standards? Not too sure, but maybe we'll get into it in this video.
You need to stay strong, to radiate freedom and knowledge for all of us. Don't let anyone try and cage you. You are entitled to live out your fantasies because the world is yours. Heroes have always been rewarded with riches and women since the dawn of time. I want my man to be adorned as God wills it. You should enjoy the spoils of war, my love, and one day our sons will too.
Okay, so riches and women, those are the spoils of war. And so she's saying, hey, you should enjoy the spoils of war and our sons will too. Multiple riches, multiple women. This is a little bit intriguing to me because a woman who loves Andrew Tate then says like, hey, I'm willing to share you with other women. In a lot of cases, I believe that love equals exclusivity. Love demands that you say no to others so that you could only truly say yes to one soul and one heart. And this is how I deem at least an aspect of love. And yet she says like, I'm willing to share them because you are at war, you're fighting, you're this hero, and you deserve the spoils of war. There's very, very interesting philosophy as far as relationally goes.
I would not dare to go against the will of God and even attempt to control you. This would be an insult to you, the cause, and the almighty God himself.
Okay, so now we come into his religion in Islam. He's saying that God is allowing you, Allah is allowing you to have this. Actually, it's a mandate. It's required that, you know, he's blessing you with multiple women and riches. And I don't want to get in the way with that because it's his command. So, you know, have fun. And so we have to take into account, like, what does Islam really say about having multiple wives or women?
I'm grateful for you and would never disrespect God's chosen protector for us all. I am a tool God has gifted you to support you, to help you, not to hinder you, but to adore you as he adores you. You have sacrificed and you have bled. I've witnessed it. You have impacted the world so greatly already, my love, achieved so much good, and I'm enormously proud of you.
Okay, so here she says that she's a tool to sacrifice and protect because that's what he's been doing. I think that we are all tools, or all instruments rather, of Heavenly Father, right? And I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor, I'm not you know, a Muslim, but I think that we are all used as instruments and tools in each other's lives. So one's not like a, you know, the hero and the other's just like some measly tool. Like, we're all used to refine and shape each other. But in this case, she acknowledged that she is a tool in his life. And I'm sure that she acknowledged that, hey, he is the protector in her life. So it's like a reciprocal thing here. I actually don't mind that statement a lot. You know, that's a fair statement to me. I rather appreciate it because it shows a lot of humility.
Other men are pathetic and pale in comparison. They have to stay faithful because they have no other options, or bravery to take what God wishes to give them. Unhappy women in society beat them down in submission, loneliness, and despair, and ultimately take their...
Oh, dude, like, they're doing Prince Harry wrong here, dude. They're like, this Meghan Markle is beating down this prince. Look how sad he looks.
free will away because they are not brave like you. You are already loyal to me because you are loyal to the cause.
Okay, so let's just pause here. There's a lot of freight there. She's basically juxtaposing Andrew Tate with these other, you know, like males who are beaten down by their women, or just weak and give up easily. And I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment. If you take masculinity, males, even in our 20s, it's a lackadaisical approach to manliness or manhood. There's no sense of, at least I don't sense a sense of like urgency and striving and courage. And I'll give you like an example. A lot of guys are caged in like a web full of lies. And to me, if you're a liar as a guy, you are a coward. You are not willing to be brave enough to step up to the truth, and so you lie to mitigate the consequences. That and guys lie all the time about the stupidest things, and about like how what they're interested in, or how big their fish that they caught was, or anything like that. I see a lot of cowardice in guys. I see a lot of complacency in men. I see a lot of the complacency relies on like, hey, instead of we have as men, I believe we have this internal desire or leaning towards like warfare, or at least conquering and subduing, and that comes with warfare or not. But instead of actually trying to conquer the world out there, and the Bible would say this in Genesis 1, go take the earth and subdue it, right? And then be fruitful and multiply. That's another thing altogether. But cultivate the earth, right? Tame it, right? There's this action that we should be pushed forward into the world, and yet a lot of people, just become complacent. And an example here would be video games. Like, instead of, we have this need for war and conquering and victory and adventure, and yet video games replaces that, right? It's war without the danger. It's conquering without an actual victory. It's obtaining a victory without actual merit, no substance to it. And so in those two instances, I see guys in a lot of lies, lying about ridiculous stuff, and I see guys real complacent. And that's just, I could bring up a whole myriad of things, but that's where I think, she has a point here. Like, this generation of young men, we really need to step in. We really need like examples of where real manhood comes from, the art of manliness, right? And she's saying that he's it. Now, do I agree with everything he says? No, absolutely not. I agree with some of the things he says. So we're here to dissect all that if you want to watch my other videos. But let's continue.
Freedom of humanity, expression of self. I don't care what girls you are with. Just come home to me. You deserve everything you desire.
Whoa. I don't care what girls you're with. Just come home to me. To me, this seems like maybe an open relationship. I don't know. We're going to speculate on who this lady is, but this is totally foreign to like my concept of true love. This has no loyalty in it, right? True love would at least include some kind of loyalty and exclusivity, and yet she forgoes that with, I don't care what girls you come home with, you come home to me. That's super strange to me. If you're a woman and you're watching this, is that something that you would ever get to? I could never say that about, my wife. Like, hey, I don't care what guys you go with, just come home to me. That actually gets me angry. I'm like, they just speculating the hypothetical is like, I'm going to kill that guy. That's the exclusivity part is part of what makes love. And I'm not sure if that has to do with Islam or not, but I mean, we could continue here.
Do not let our enemies prevail.
The last thing, I mean, this letter could have gone on, but this is obviously a promotion on his Twitter here. Do not let our enemies prevail. So we all know he's being under some kind of oppression and attack from the Romanian government. Is it an attack? Yes. Is it based on good things or not? This remains to be seen, right? We don't know if he's guilty or not guilty or what's going to happen. It could be totally bad. And he says right here in his Twitter, if she really loves you, evil can't attack you. A woman's pure love is a powerful protection spell. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just that I agree with. A woman's pure love is a powerful protection spell. It's something that is really brings the spirit of a man up. Like if you go home at the end of a hard day and your woman is there, excited to see you, the kids are excited to see you. Like that's how I feel when I come home, because I have a fantastic woman by my side, and she like heals the spirit. In the Bible, it's put like this: like a lot of Western culture talks about how women are the neck, and while the man is the head of the household, the women are the neck, and it control, the neck controls where the head goes. That is a very submissive, that puts a very submissive view of the man in that situation. The Bible actually says that women are not the neck, but a crown upon the head, which is the man. It is something that like you show off that woman, and it makes you feel like like you're the man, dude. Like that's how a great wife should be. And you only have how you can't wear two crowns. You be looking like this. You be having two crowns. You be looking like a fool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make sense. So that is very interesting to me. So let's speculate on this woman really quick, and then let's go into what this means for Islam. This woman could be Andrew Tate's girlfriend right now. This is June 20th, right? This is last updated. Sofia Guliyeva, and she's like this influencer. Over here, I got her Instagram pulled up. Okay, so she's here in Dubai right now. So I mean, probably not with her or with Andrew Tate. Maybe she flew over there. I'm not too sure. And you could see I think that's the Burj Khalifa. So there she is right there. And then there, right standing next to the Bugatti, as it were. Is she the one writing this letter? I don't know. You tell me. I checked the comments. I couldn't figure out, but you tell me. But Islam, why does Islam allow polygamy? And this is from alislam.org. I'm not even sure if this is like a trustworthy site. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that incorrectly or correctly. So my apologies. But essentially, I read through this article, and we could read through this as well. But they're saying here in right here, this provision, which is polygamy, in Islam, is of marrying more than one once, is not a generality. It pertains to certain situations when it becomes necessary for both preserving the health of society and the rights of women to have this provision available. Basically saying that it is happening in a time of crisis, right? The primary occasion for then the provision of polygamy is in wartime situations. During times of war, the number of men in society is reduced due to war casualties. Consequently, there is an increase in the number of widows and orphans. For such situations, Islam gives the provision of polygamy so that the widows and orphans could continue to have the possibility of a family life after the passing of the husband and father. So basically, the father, husband die in combat. There's a family left at home. And so when a man comes home, they will take on another wife and family so that he could help preserve and nurture that family so that they have a life. Because I'm sure it's very difficult in those societies in that part of the world when you don't have a father figure bringing in income and all that stuff. So that is the primary reason, according to this website, on why Islam allows for multiple wives. That is a far cry from what Andrew Tate is being allowed by his special lady friend, if it's Sophia or not, to have multiple women. It is not a time of wartime crisis. Now that's the primary reason. The other reasons is they list out reasons for marriage in Islam. They list out 4: protection against physical and moral and spiritual ailments, continuation of human life, companionship and peace of mind, and growth of relations of love and compassion. And they're basically saying, this article basically says, I'll just shortcut it, that if a woman cannot give one of these 4 things, then you can take another wife. So like if you can't have babies, then you could take another a wife. Then this is an abbreviated version. So some like Muslim like apologist is gonna get at me in the comment section below. But that's the gist of it from like a layman's point of view. It's a subtle reference to marriage to fulfill lustful pursuits meant for gratification and natural desires. In the case of the former, marriage may become the means of exploring sexuality without bonds, limits, and love. Comparatively, in this case of the latter, marriage becomes means to curtail and fulfill natural desires along with the intended goal of finding comfort, protection against the evils. So this it says, hence the notion of Islam making provision for men to lead lustful lives is a complete misconception. So this is the misconception. So this is actually talks exactly to the opposite of what Andrew Tate is using or talking to other ladies. Like it's not for lustful, reasons here. Anyway. Let me know your thoughts on this video and Andrew Tate and who that woman is, and where it stands here with having multiple women at your door. Is that an act of manliness? I don't think so. I don't think that's what the Bible says. But hey, what do I know? I'm just following the Bible as close as I can. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll check out my other videos on Andrew Tate, and I'll talk to you guys soon.